the Golden Owl Podcast.
Speak better, fly higher.
Have you ever looked at your life and thought, wow, I should be grateful, but then felt nothing? Like you told yourself to feel something good, but your brain just did not cooperate.
Oh, that is such a real feeling. And today we are actually going to talk about that. But before we get into it, if you are watching this on YouTube, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us a lot. And hey, we put a vocabulary list in the description below, so if you hear a word you do not know, just scroll down and check it out.
Okay, so gratitude. Everybody is talking about gratitude these days. You open any self-help book, any podcast, any Instagram page, and someone is telling you, just be grateful. Write 3 things you are thankful for every morning and your life will change. And I used to think, okay, sure, let me try this.
And did it work?
Sometimes, but a lot of the time I was just sitting there with my notebook writing, I am grateful for coffee. I am grateful for my bed. I am grateful for the fact that it is not raining today.
That last one is very specific.
I live somewhere where it rains a lot, okay? Every dry day is a miracle.
Fair enough, but I know what you mean. There's this whole culture now around gratitude, like it became a product almost. You can buy gratitude journals, gratitude apps, there are gratitude challenges on social media, and somewhere in all of that, the actual meaning of the word got a little bit lost, I think.
Yeah, and the word itself, gratitude, just means the feeling of being thankful. That's it. It's not complicated, but people made it into this big system, this daily practice, this performance almost.
A performance. Yes, that's exactly the right word. Because sometimes it feels like people are not actually feeling grateful, they're just performing gratitude, like for their followers or even just for themselves.
Right, like you're trying to convince yourself that you're a positive person, and if you don't feel grateful today, then something is wrong with you.
And that's where it starts to feel a little toxic. You know that word toxic positivity? It's when someone tells you to just think positive, just be grateful no matter what is happening in your life. And if you feel sad or angry or frustrated, well, you just need to be more grateful.
Which is honestly one of the most unhelpful things you can say to a person.
Completely, because real emotions do not work like that. You cannot switch off a bad feeling just by writing in a journal.
And actually, I want to say something about that phrase, toxic positivity, because some people might not know it. So toxic in everyday English doesn't always mean literally poisonous. It means something that seems good on the surface, but is actually harmful. So toxic positivity means being so focused on positive thinking that you actually hurt people by ignoring their real feelings.
That's a really good explanation, and it happens a lot. Like, imagine you are having a terrible week. Maybe something went wrong at work, or you had a fight with someone you care about, and you talk to a friend and they say, well, just be grateful for what you have. And you're standing there thinking, I wanted support, not a lecture.
Exactly. And the worst part is, the person saying it usually means well. They're not trying to be difficult, they genuinely think they're helping.
Which makes it even harder to be annoyed at them.
Oh, I manage.
Of course you do.
But okay, let's talk about the other side of this, because I don't want to just say gratitude is bad, because it's not. There are moments when I feel genuinely, truly grateful, and it's completely different from writing things in a notebook.
Tell me about one.
Okay, so there was this one time I was having a really rough week. Everything felt heavy, nothing was going right, and one evening I just went outside for a walk. No phone, no music, just walking. And it was getting dark, and the sky was this incredible color, like deep orange and pink, and I just stopped and stood there for a few minutes. And I felt it, real gratitude, not for anything specific, just for being there, being alive, seeing that sky.
I love that. And notice, nobody told you to feel grateful. You didn't write it in a journal, it just happened.
It just happened, and that's the difference. It wasn't forced.
I have a story like that too, but mine is much less poetic.
Oh, good. I was starting to feel too deep.
So I was at the supermarket, very romantic, I know, and I was in a hurry and the self-checkout machine was being absolutely impossible. You know how those machines have that one moment where they say, unexpected item in the bagging area, and then just freeze?
Ugh, every single time.
Every single time. So I was standing there, a little frustrated, and this older woman behind me just started laughing. Not at me, just at the situation. And she said, "These machines, they never work, do they?" And I laughed too. And we had this tiny little conversation for like 2 minutes. And when I walked out of the shop, I felt genuinely good, genuinely grateful for that small moment.
A stranger in a supermarket gave you a gratitude moment.
An unexpected item in the bagging area gave me a gratitude moment.
Beautiful. That should be on a motivational poster.
I would buy it. But that's exactly the point, right? Those moments are real. They're not manufactured. Nobody set a timer and said, "Okay, now feel grateful."
And I think that is what gets lost in all the journaling and the apps and the morning routines. Gratitude is not something you schedule. You can create the conditions for it maybe, but you cannot force the feeling itself.
And when you try to force it, what happens? It feels empty. It feels like homework.
Exactly like homework. And nobody wants more homework.
Nobody. But here is something I have been thinking about. Why do people try to force it in the first place? Like, what is behind that? Because I do not think it's random that gratitude became this big trend.
I think a lot of it comes from the fact that modern life is quite stressful. People feel overwhelmed, they feel like nothing is enough, they're always comparing themselves to other people online, and gratitude feels like a solution, like a way to stop that cycle.
Which is not a wrong idea. The research actually does show that feeling grateful has real effects on how you feel mentally and physically. Lower stress, better sleep, better relationships.
So the science is real, the intention is good, it's just the execution that sometimes goes wrong.
Right. When it becomes a rule, when it becomes something you must do every day or you're failing, that's when it loses its power.
And that's the trap a lot of people fall into. They start a gratitude practice because they want to feel better, and then the practice itself becomes another thing to feel bad about when they skip it.
Skipped my gratitude journal, now I'm ungrateful, now I'm a bad person, now I feel worse than before I started.
Which is honestly kind of funny when you say it out loud.
It is a little funny, in a sad way.
In a very human way. So we talked about why forced gratitude doesn't work, but I want to get practical for a second, because I think a lot of people hear all this and they think, okay, so I should just wait around and hope a beautiful sunset appears or a funny stranger shows up at the supermarket?
Well, when you put it like that, it does sound a little passive.
Right, so what do you actually do? Like, is there a middle ground between forcing it every morning and just leaving it completely to chance?
I think there is. And for me personally, the shift happened when I stopped asking myself, what am I grateful for? And started asking, what actually felt good today? Even something tiny, even something embarrassing.
Embarrassing like what?
Okay, don't judge me, but sometimes the best part of my day is when I finally sit down with a really good bowl of pasta after a long day, and it's just perfect. Like the temperature's right, the sauce is right, everything is right. And I think, yes, this is it. This is the moment.
I fully respect that. Pasta is genuinely one of life's great gifts.
It really is. But the point is, it's specific. It's real. I'm not telling myself I should feel grateful for my health and my family and my opportunities. I mean, those things matter, obviously, but that kind of big, abstract gratitude is hard to actually feel. Whereas pasta, I can feel that.
That's actually a really interesting point, because I think one of the problems with the classic gratitude list is that people write the same things every day: health, family, home, and those are real things to appreciate. But when you write them every single day without thinking, they become just words on a page.
They lose meaning. It's like when you say a word too many times and it starts to sound strange. You know that feeling?
Yes, there's actually a name for that. It's called semantic satiation. Semantic meaning related to meaning, and satiation means when you've had so much of something that it stops having an effect. So semantic satiation is when a word loses its meaning because you've repeated it too many times.
Which is exactly what happens to your gratitude list when you write the same 5 things every morning for 3 months.
Exactly. The words are there, but the feeling behind them is completely gone.
So what you're saying is variety matters. Like, try to notice different things each time.
Yes, and also do not feel like you have to be grateful for big things. Small things count. Actually, I think small things are better because they are easier to feel.
Right. because nobody wakes up every morning and deeply feels grateful for their home, but you might genuinely feel glad for the fact that your coffee came out perfectly today, or that you found a parking spot easily, or that your favorite song came on when you needed it.
Or that the self-checkout machine worked without any drama.
Oh, when that happens, it is a miracle. I am fully grateful in that moment.
A genuine, unforced, beautiful miracle.
But okay, so we're saying small things, specific things, real things. What else?
I think timing matters too. And by that I mean, do not force yourself to feel grateful when you are in a bad mood. That is the worst time to try. It will feel fake, it will feel annoying, and you will end up feeling worse.
So do not sit down when you're frustrated and tell yourself, okay, be grateful now, go.
Right, because your brain is just not in that place. But maybe later, when things calm down a little, you naturally start to notice something small that was okay about the day. And that's enough. You don't need a journal for that. You don't need an app. You just notice it and let yourself feel it for a moment.
I really like that. Just notice it and let yourself feel it. No performance, no writing, no system. Just a moment of actually paying attention.
Which is harder than it sounds in a world where we're all constantly distracted by our phones and notifications and 100 other things.
True. I catch myself sometimes scrolling through my phone and thinking, I'm bored. And then I put it down and realize that actually, the room I'm sitting in is really nice, the light is good, it's quiet, and I was bored because I was choosing to look at a screen instead of just being somewhere.
That's such a common thing, and I think that's where gratitude and just being present overlap, because a lot of real gratitude comes from actually noticing where you are and what's around you, instead of being mentally somewhere else.
Which is basically what you were doing on that walk with the orange sky. You left the phone at home, you had no distractions, so you were actually there.
Exactly. And I didn't plan to feel grateful. I planned to go for a walk. The gratitude was just what happened when I was fully present.
So maybe the practical advice is not practice gratitude every day. Maybe it's more like practice being present, and gratitude will follow sometimes. Not always, but sometimes.
And sometimes is enough. You don't need to feel deeply grateful every single day. That's not realistic. That's not how humans work.
Right. And I think that's the most important thing we can say today. You're not broken if you don't feel grateful all the time. You're just a person with good days and bad days and medium days, and days where the only thing you feel grateful for is that it's almost bedtime.
Those days are valid. Very valid.
Extremely valid. And honestly, looking forward to your bed at the end of a hard day, that's a kind of gratitude too. You're glad the bed exists. You're glad the day is ending. That counts.
I never thought about it that way, but you're completely right. Even relief is a form of gratitude.
Everything that makes you think, I'm glad this exists, or I'm glad this happened, or I'm glad this day is over, that's gratitude. It doesn't have to look pretty, it doesn't have to go in a journal, it just has to be real.
And I think that's honestly the whole message of today. Real over perfect. A moment of genuine feeling beats 100 days of going through the motions.
And if you do like journaling, if you do like morning routines, that's completely fine too. There's nothing wrong with those things. Just make sure you're actually feeling something when you do them. Otherwise, it's just writing words on paper.
Which is basically just making a list. And lists are useful, but they're not the same as gratitude.
Unless it's a shopping list. I feel very grateful when I actually remember to bring my shopping list to the supermarket.
And even more grateful when the self-checkout machine accepts it without a meltdown.
Ha! Always. Okay, so to wrap this up, gratitude is real, it's valuable, the research supports it, but forcing it doesn't work. The best gratitude is small, specific, unplanned, and honest, and the best way to find it is probably just to slow down a little and pay attention to what's actually around you.
Well said. And if you made it this far in the episode, thank you genuinely for listening. It means a lot. If you enjoyed it, please leave us a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let us know in the comments what's one small thing you felt genuinely grateful for recently. We'd love to read your answers.
See you in the next one.